You just told your cat no. Maybe you pushed them off the counter, or closed the door they desperately wanted open. And now there's that uncomfortable silence. Your cat walked away. You feel a little guilty. And then, minutes later, they come back. They look at you, approach slowly, and press their forehead firmly against your face or hand. That headbutt, that deliberate press of their head against you, isn't random. According to feline behaviorists, it carries a meaning so significant that once you understand it, you'll never see that moment the same way again. What your cat is actually telling you in that gesture is something you need to hear. You just told your cat no. Maybe you pushed them off the counter or closed the door they desperately wanted open. And now there's that uncomfortable silence. Your cat walked away. You feel a little guilty. And then, minutes later, they come back. As they look at you, approach slowly, and press their forehead firmly against your face or hand. That headbutt, that deliberate press of their head against you, isn't random. According to feline behaviorists, it carries a meaning so significant that once you understand it, you'll never see that moment the same way again. What your cat is actually telling you in that gesture is something you need to hear. Let's set the scene. Because you've probably lived this exact moment more times than you realize. There's been some kind of tension. Maybe you raised your voice when they knocked your coffee over. Maybe you physically moved them off the bed because you needed space. Maybe you simply ignored them when they wanted attention, and they felt the shift in your energy. Cats are remarkably perceptive. They notice when the warmth between you cools, even slightly. And here's what's fascinating. They don't just notice it, they feel it. Dr. John Bradshaw, author of Cat Sense and one of the world's leading experts on feline behavior, explains that cats form genuine emotional attachments to their human caregivers, attachments that mirror the bonds between human infants and their mothers. So when tension happens, when there's a rupture in that connection, your cat experiences it as something real, something that matters. Think of it like this. Imagine having a disagreement with someone you love deeply and feeling that uncomfortable distance settle between you, that heaviness in the air. Your cat feels a version of that too. And when they come back to you after that tension, when they seek you out and press their head against you, they're not pretending nothing happened. They're doing something far more intentional. They're reaching out. And what happens next reveals something even more interesting about how your cat thinks about conflict. Here's something most people don't realize. From your cat's perspective, a fight doesn't require hissing or scratched furniture. To your cat, conflict can be remarkably subtle. A sharp tone of voice. That's a fight. Being picked up and moved when they were comfortable. That's a fight. Having a door closed between you that registers as rejection. Even something as small as pushing their face away when they wanted to nuzzle you. Your cat may experience that as a rupture in your connection. You're not alone in being surprised by this. Most cat owners assume that unless there's obvious aggression or fear, their cat isn't affected by these small moments of friction. But according to Dr. Mikel Delgado, a certified cat behavior consultant and researcher, cats are constantly monitoring the emotional temperature of their relationships. They're watching your face. They're listening to your tone. They're feeling the way you touch them or don't touch them. And they're adjusting their sense of safety based on what they observe. It's like how a child might not understand the words of an argument between their parents, but they absolutely feel the tension in the room. Your cat operates similarly. They may not understand why you're frustrated, but they understand that something has shifted, that the harmony they depend on has been disrupted. And here's what makes cats remarkable. Many of them don't simply withdraw and sulk indefinitely. Many of them, perhaps including yours, actively work to restore that harmony. That instinct to repair, to reconnect after rupture, is actually a sign of deep attachment, and the headbutt is one of their most powerful tools for doing exactly that. And that firm press of your cat's forehead against your chin or cheek isn't random affection. It's one of the most chemically significant gestures in the feline world. Behaviorists call this bunting, and it involves glands located around your cat's face that produce pheromones. These aren't just any chemicals, these are identity markers. Scent signatures that say, this is mine, and this is safe, and this is family. When your cat headbutts you, they're literally depositing these pheromones onto your skin. According to Pam Johnson-Bennett, a certified cat behavior consultant and author of numerous books on feline behavior, bunting is a bonding behavior reserved for individuals the cat considers part of their trusted inner circle. Cats don't bunt strangers. They don't bunt things they're merely tolerating. They bunt what they've claimed, what they feel genuinely connected to. Think of it as the feline equivalent of a hug that also says you belong to me. But here's where it gets really interesting. The bunting that happens after conflict carries additional weight. It's not just maintenance bonding, it's active repair. Your cat isn't just saying you're mine, they're saying, we're still okay, right? Please tell me we're still okay. Dr. Sharon Crowell-Davis, a veterinary behaviorist, has noted that cats use physical contact strategically to manage social relationships, including repairing them after stress. That headbutt after you've had words with your cat, that's not coincidence. That's intention. That's your cat reaching for you, hoping you'll reach back. When your cat headbutts you after tension, they're not just saying hello again. They're actively working to repair something they felt break between you. This is crucial to understand. So your cat perceived a disruption in your bond, and rather than letting that disruption fester, they chose to address it. They chose to approach you. They chose to make physical contact. They chose vulnerability. And vulnerability, for a cat, is never accidental. Research published in the journal Animal Behavior has shown that cats living in bonded pairs will often engage in physical reconciliation behaviors after conflicts. Grooming each other, rubbing against each other, most sleeping in closer proximity than usual. What you're witnessing when your cat headbutts you after a fight is the same reconciliation instinct directed at you. You're not just their owner, you're their social partner, and they're working to maintain that partnership, actively, through behavior. Think about what this actually means. Your cat could have stayed away. They could have hidden under the bed and avoided you. They could have held a grudge. And yes, some cats do hold grudges. No, at least temporarily. But yours didn't. Yours came back. Yours pressed their head against you in a gesture that says, I want things to be good between us. I'm offering you peace. According to Jackson Galaxy, cat behaviorist and host of My Cat from Hell, this kind of behavior indicates a cat who feels secure enough in the relationship to believe it can survive conflict. They're not afraid that one disagreement has ended everything. They trust, and this is important, they trust that you'll accept their peace offering. That trust is something you've built together over time, and it's something precious. Not all post-fight headbutts are created equal, and learning to read the subtle differences can tell you exactly what your cat is feeling in that moment. Pay attention to the pressure. A gentle, tentative press, almost like they're testing the waters, often indicates a cat who's still slightly uncertain. They're reaching out, yes, but they're also checking. Is it safe? Are you still upset? Will you accept them back? This gentle approach is actually quite brave. They're being vulnerable despite their uncertainty. A firmer headbutt, one with real pressure behind it, usually indicates more confidence. Your cat has decided that the conflict is over and they're ready to move forward. They're not asking if things are okay. They're declaring that things are okay now. This is especially common in cats who have a secure, established bond with their human. They know disagreements happen. They know you always come back to each other. The timing matters too. A headbutt that comes within minutes of the conflict suggests your cat felt the tension acutely and wanted to resolve it quickly. They couldn't settle until things were repaired between you. A headbutt that comes later, maybe an hour or more afterward, might indicate a cat who needed time to process, but who still ultimately chose reconciliation. Dr. Marcy Koski, a certified feline behavior consultant, notes that some cats need space after stress before they're ready to reconnect. If your cat takes their time but still comes back with a headbutt, that's actually significant. They worked through their feelings and decided the relationship was worth repairing. What you do in the 3 seconds after that headbutt matters more than you might think. Your cat has just made a bid for connection. They've approached you during a vulnerable moment and offered physical affection designed to restore your bond. How you respond either completes the reconciliation or leaves it hanging. If you lean into the headbutt, if you let your forehead meet theirs, if you speak softly and stroke them gently, you're accepting their peace offering. You're saying, yes, we're okay. You're closing the loop. According to Dr. Karen Becker, a proactive and integrative wellness veterinarian, positive responses to reconciliation attempts strengthen the overall security of the bond over time. Each time your cat reaches for you and you reach back, you're building a pattern that tells your cat, this relationship is safe. Conflict doesn't destroy us. We always find our way back. But if you're still frustrated, if you push them away or respond coldly, you leave that bid for connection unanswered. And your cat notices. They won't stop loving you. They won't necessarily hold it against you forever. But in that moment, they'll register that their attempt to repair didn't work. And over time, if this pattern repeats, some cats become hesitant to try. They start to feel like the bond is less secure, like reconciliation isn't guaranteed. You don't need to pretend you weren't upset. You don't need to fake enthusiasm. But even a neutral response, a gentle touch, a calm voice, simply not pulling away, can be enough to tell your cat, I receive what you're offering. We're okay. And that moment, that simple acceptance, means more to your cat than you probably realize. A cat who headbutts after conflict is showing you something profound about how they've attached to you. In attachment theory, which applies to both humans and animals, there's a concept called secure attachment. A securely attached individual believes that their important relationships can survive disagreement. They trust that conflict doesn't mean abandonment. They feel safe enough to express themselves, and safe enough to repair when things go wrong. Insecurely attached individuals, by contrast, often either withdraw completely after conflict or become anxiously clingy because they're not confident the relationship will hold. The fact that your cat headbutts you after a fight indicates they likely have a secure attachment to you. They felt the rupture. They didn't like it. But they also believed, somewhere in their feline brain, that the bond between you was strong enough to be restored. They believed you were worth approaching, and they believed you would accept them back. Research from Oregon State University, published in the journal Current Biology, confirmed that cats form distinct attachment styles with their caregivers, just like dogs and human infants do. And a cat who actively seeks reconciliation, who uses physical affection to repair connection, is demonstrating the kind of attachment that only develops when a cat feels genuinely safe with their person. You created that safety, through consistent care, through gentle handling, through all the small moments of connection over days and months and years. You taught your cat that you are someone they can trust, someone they can return to, someone worth headbutting. The next time your cat presses their head against you after you've had words, I want you to pause, truly pause, and recognize what's actually happening. This isn't just a cat being a cat. This isn't random feline quirk. This is a small creature, a creature who didn't have to love you, who didn't have to trust you, who didn't have to try, choosing to bridge the gap that formed between you. They're offering you their scent, their pheromones, their chemical signature that says we belong together. They're saying, that disagreement doesn't define us. I still choose you. I still want to be close to you. Please, still want to be close to me. According to the International Cat Care Organization, cats who engage in regular bonding behaviors like bunting with their owners tend to show lower stress levels overall and exhibit more confident, secure behavior throughout their lives. Your acceptance of their peace offering isn't just about that moment. It's about their whole sense of safety in the world. You are their anchor. You are their home. And when you receive their headbutt with warmth, you remind them that home is still a safe place to be. There's something sacred in that, if you let yourself see it. A small furry philosopher pressing their head against you, teaching you that love doesn't mean never having conflict. Love means always being willing to repair. So here's what that post-fight headbutt actually means. Every time it happens, it means your cat felt the distance between you and couldn't rest until they closed it. It means they trust you enough to be vulnerable, to approach when they're uncertain, to reach for you, even when reaching could mean rejection. It means you've built something real together, a bond secure enough to survive tension and emerge stronger. It means that in the mysterious inner world of your cat's mind, you matter, you belong to them, and they're willing to work, actually work, to keep you close. Not every cat does this. Some cats withdraw, some cats hold grudges, and some cats never develop the secure attachment that makes reconciliation feel safe. But yours comes back. Yours presses their head against you with intention and hope. Yours offers peace, again and again, trusting that you'll accept it. And every time you do, every time you meet that headbutt with a gentle touch, you're honoring something precious. You're honoring the trust your cat has placed in you. You're honoring the bond you've built together. You're honoring the small, quiet, profound truth that love between species is possible, and that your cat, in their own feline way, is proving it with every press of their forehead against your skin. That's not just a headbutt, that's an apology, that's a promise, that's love, in the only language they know how to speak, and you are exactly the person they want to speak it to.